Woo-wee. Another day in paradise, folks. Get some headphones on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, folks. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, traders from across the globe. We are gonna get after it. I just need some music real quick. Let's see. What we've got going here. Okay. Yo, what's up, Paulo? What's up, Neek? What's up, OG Trade? Welcome back, my friends. Neek, welcome, brother. Got you over from the MFF chat. I'm just trying to get some music going real quick. Go ahead, get settled in, guys. Get comfortable. We are going to jump in here momentarily. Just really need some music. Let's get that off the stream. Oh, I need to fix that later. Oh well, okay. Let's see, what do I want to listen to? Some house music? Yes, sir. Not getting any sound to my headphones. It's a serious issue. Hold up. Here we go. Okay, so we had some interesting... Wait, why is this still not working? I have no sound. Output. Okay. I fixed it. All right, cool. Sorry about that. We got Paolo, Neek, OG Trade, Dallin. Dallin, one of the OGs from the server. By the way, guys, if you're not a part of Trade Edge Discord, please join. Verbal Kent 81, good morning. Mr. Smith, what's good, my brother? What is good, my brother? All right. Okay, let's just jump into it. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something on the side. It's just not doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's talk about what happened yesterday. Okay, real quick before we jump in. If you don't have this document or guide downloaded for the next 30 days, go to get it. We're on day 3. There's still time. Doesn't matter if you start on the first day or not. Okay, I'm just going to say this every day. Trading is really hard. You 100% can do it. Okay, I had a really good trade yesterday and even overnight, just trading the edges. We're going to talk about that. Get the guide. Okay, everything you need is in here. We got all the videos on just reading the markets, everything, the setups that I use to trade. Get that. Okay, take care of yourself every single morning when you first wake up. There are 3 things that you want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up today. make sure this fits on the stream. It does not. It's a little off. So let me see if I can fix that. I go like this. There we go. Cool. All right. So we start with our 3 daily wins. Okay. Stretching. I did that. A cup of water and watching a motivational video. What I do is I just come into YouTube. I just type in motivational video. I just watch something random. Just do that while I'm brushing my teeth, making coffee, drink a cup of water. While I'm stretching, I think it's just a good way to start the day, get your mind right. Okay, we're going to start with our macro analysis, which means we need to go to the weekly. Okay, so in this week, obviously Monday and Tuesday, we're kind of tight, choppier days. Okay, we can see the weekly candle is still within these two kind of levels that I had marked out. Okay, 21,732 and 21,975. We're just sitting nicely in there. Okay, if we go to ES real quick, same thing. We're still inside these levels. We cracked this a little bit higher. If you recall, there's like a node here, right? The reason we have these levels is we're ranging inside of this weekly node. Okay, let me get rid of whatever that level is. So we have this node here that we're ranging inside of. There was no tier 1 catalyst on Monday and Tuesday. That's important. When you're creating your trade plans or expectations for the week, okay, the week is a candle, it's a time frame, okay, that follows the same rules as every other time frame. Okay, it's just slower. It takes a week for this candle to play out. We're still inside this week. We have to understand that a lot of the candle is going to form when there's a catalyst. So today and tomorrow, 7:43, we have 45 minutes basically till data. Okay, the candle body is going to form around those catalysts. Is the volume low? My volume or the chart volume? Can you guys hear me fine? Hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can't hear. If I'm quiet, I can try and turn myself up or something. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Actually, hold up. Let me... He may mean stream volume. Is it low? Let me guys know if I'm low or not. I am a bit low. Let's see. I'll turn myself up. Hold up. Turn myself up. We can fix that. That can be fixed, boys and girls. Is that better? You guys hear me fine? Stream volume is a little low. Bit low. Okay. I could turn myself up a little bit more. Hold up, check this out. Let me change to... All right. I turned myself up a little bit. I turned my gain up. So there is low volume on the weekly, coincidentally, talk about volume. So we have low volume on the weekly. Okay. Let's just notate that real quick. So in our macro analysis, let's go ahead and erase this little section. Use these as guide points, okay? I don't necessarily need them for myself. I don't want all the bullets in here in Notion. Let's just go ahead and copy this image, okay? And we're just going to write down on the weekly, put that in there. We had, I want to say chop, but rangier. I'm just going to do rangy Monday and Tuesday due to no tier 1 data on those days. We have a very small weekly candle still inside this weekly node. Okay. I expect most of the candle to form around this data. So what does that mean? That means if we just measure some of these other candles, okay, some basic TA, this was 229 points, 234 points. Okay, we have a very small candle, very, very small candle. This candle's 63 points. If this candle is going to reach the average, the ATR of some of these other candles, like the average size of these other candles, these are the days to do it. It's very possible, by the way, guys, that we have a very tight week overall. It's a very low volume weekly candle. Volume has been dropping on the weekly as well, which is pretty important. Okay, if you just look at the overall volume, volume has been dropping on the weekly as we've gotten up here. I could read that as a little bit of uncertainty into the market, maybe not, but we do have that dropping volume there. Not much else to notate here on the weekly, other than we're still in an uptrend. Okay, I'll just write that down. I'll just put that above this. Okay, still uptrending. Look for longs. This is really, really important. I'm gonna not stop saying it. Look for longs in an uptrend. Okay, if you are short biased in this market, you are missing out on most of the money that could be made. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how good you are as a trader, right? Like, it really doesn't matter. You could have perfect shorts and you're just missing most of the action because all of the EV is to the upside. So just be long biased. Ask if you haven't been looking for longs. Okay, ask yourself what it is that you're uncertain about. Maybe you're looking for too perfect of an entry on the long side, and you're not able to hold. Keep that in mind. Let's go to the daily. I'm going to keep the session VP off on the daily still. We don't really need it. What I'm looking for here is bias. Okay, we want as much bias in the VP as possible, right? First like, that means you get the first ride in the Wrangler. Guess so, Mr. Smith. First ride in the Wrangler. Goes out to Miss. Write it down, guys. Write it down. We're looking for bias here. So we have this node here. We've got another node lower, right? When I'm planning, I'm in planning mode still, right? We're not necessarily trading right now. I'm still planning for my day. Still in an uptrend. I know we have data, we have CPI. We're probably going to fat candle. If I want to fade CPI, right? Maybe I want to react to CPI. There's two areas I see right here on the daily where that could happen. Okay, we have a node down here that we could play around with a fat candle, and we have these nodes up here. Okay, it's a little more choppy up here. We could play around with the fat candle. What do I mean? Let me show you. So we get a really fat down candle on the lowers, right? It's going to look huge. On the highers, though, we can see that there's a node right here. So maybe it comes down, it traverses this node. We still get our higher low. Okay, we get the higher low on the daily here. So we're still in an uptrend. And then we get our continuation like this. Okay, either today, tomorrow. It doesn't have to be today. Maybe we don't V-recover today. Maybe we put the slow in. Okay, and then it comes up higher. You can see that we have pretty sizable down candles here. So we could have a red day. Okay, comes down, we traverse, and we clean all these people up. This would allow us, if we got that move, by the way, okay, we would still have an uptrend. Okay, it would just look like this, right? Same on the upside. Okay, we could have a serious up move that maybe mean reverts end of day, or maybe just cracks the highs. But there's a few different shelves here, right? So there's that shelf there. There's this one here, right? A little bit of bias, right? We could traverse this auction here higher, and then we mean revert after the 8:30 data. Okay, on the daily, what we could do as well is we just traverse this shelf right here. We stay inside, right? Very, very possible that we have, again, on that weekly, remembering the weekly narrative, we're still inside this node. Maybe we just stay inside this node, okay? You see here, on Monday we stayed inside this node. Tuesday we stayed inside this node. Okay, we stay inside this node is very, very possible. So what I want to notate on the daily, okay, I just said all of that, is I'm just going to mark these up with some fat arrows so that in my notes, right, in my planning, it's evident what's happening. I'm not going to keep this on my chart though, okay? I'm going to put it on here for my notes. I'm not going to keep it on my chart, really important, on the daily, okay? Get a little screenshot over here, and let's just say there are some obvious targets where we could rip to on data, okay? Above, we have a few jagged edges where we should look for confluence with previous daily highs, okay? So we have these edges here. There's a few highs over here, okay? If we come to the upside, it is going to, we'll go to the lowers and see if we can find some more bias in the VP here. But wherever it goes to, it's going to be a sweep with one of these highs, okay? Very, very likely. Same on the low side, but on the low side, let me finish this thought. On the low side, we have a trend, right? We have the higher lows. So this is a key thought just in trending, by the way. When we have an uptrend, this is an idea I probably developed in the last year or so, just to be clear. When we have an uptrend, I really care about the lows. Whoops, what the heck is going on? I care more about the lows. Obviously, we have higher highs and higher lows. I really care about the higher lows in an uptrend. In a downtrend, I care about the lower highs. Okay, I care about the highs in a downtrend. In an uptrend, I care about the lows. Okay, the highs will tend to be a little bit more jagged in an uptrend. Okay, so I really care about a strong trend line on the lows in an uptrend. So on the downside, the reason that matters is I'm looking for an area, confluence. We have this shelf here where we get nice, right, a nice kind of trend. Okay, that's why this area right here makes a lot of sense to me on the downside for a retest. Okay, it doesn't have to do that, but even just for structure overall on this daily chart, when we talk about break of structure and things like that, I just want to see, do we have a trend line anywhere with the lows going, putting in higher lows? If not, then we might actually be rotating over. Okay, in addition to volume, right? If we get a high volume like top wick on the daily, then yeah, that's also a sign that we're going to roll over. What happened to my volume again? Where does this thing go? Where did my little box go? Not sure where it went. Oh, there it is. So weird that it does that. TradingView just does that randomly. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking on the daily. So let's finish writing that out. So below, we have the node that has confluence with maintaining higher lows in our uptrend. Okay, so I'm going to notate that. Now, one of the things that I mentioned the other day is how we can add tags. So we're going to do that today. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. We're going to up-level our Notion. What's up, Greg? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. So we're going to modify our database. I'm going to hit Add Property. Okay. Now the property that we're going to add is a tag, which is verification. What? We're going to add, not a number. What is it? Am I tripping balls right now? Man, a really good song just came on, guys. Really good song just came on. I don't want it to be text. I want it to be, we've got person, date, status, select, number, text. I must be tripping right now. Why is this? Hold on. Let's see what it is. What type of property it is. Multi-select. Okay, that's the one. Okay, so we're going to do a multi-select. And we're going to call this just a tag, okay? Multi-select, okay? We're just going to call it a tag. Now, I'm going to type in uptrending, uptrend, and CPI. I'm just going to create those on the fly. Click 56. Welcome to the party, everybody. Make sure you download and are following along as well. If you're not following along, make sure you do that. That's the whole point of this kind of 30-day in the morning. We're planning here in the morning. So download this document. You can get it at stan.store. Type it in the chat. stan.store/trading with Forrest. Okay. Join along. I need a bot to like automatically mention that or something. Okay. And like the stream, please. Help a brother out. Just started streaming. You can tell by how slapped together this thing is. So that's the daily. Let's go to the micro. Now, as someone who trades a 4-hour chart, okay, anything other than the daily is going to be our micro analysis, okay? It might seem pretty slow for some of you guys. I know a lot of people are trading very low time frames. I'm a very patient person. The 4-hour to me, for example, yesterday I took one trade, okay, based off my daily plan. I mentioned on MFF stream yesterday too that we very likely were going to range before going higher. That's exactly what we did. We had a D-shaped VP. It literally has to happen. Freaking magic. And I traded around that thesis. So we're going to start forming the thesis for today here. Okay. So on the 4-hour, let me just zoom out. Let's get rid of this box. Let's get rid of these lines as well. Let's just get rid of all that stuff. What chart am I on? Yep. Do this one. So yes, on the 4-hour. All right, so what I'm looking for here is if I can get some more edges in my VP real quick. We'll get rid of the session. We're still going higher. Checking out my trend line here. Is there anything interesting with the trend? There is this lower volume above us, right? We still have our price area around this node on the higher time frames. There's that edge of that daily shelf. Okay, you can see that we're still, price is getting really, really skinny in here too. Okay, we can see here that price has continued. We had this kind of outer range. Okay, there was this high in here, and then now we have this really small choppy range on the 4-hour. We should expect us to break out of this with CPI. If we don't break out of this with CPI, we're going to have a very tight, rangy day. If, and this is where some experience comes into play now, I would say, well, actually, let me mark this up real quick. Thinking ahead. Oh, did not mean to draw that line there. So I'm just going to highlight this little choppy range here. Come over to our Notion, and I'm going to write the 4-hour. If we don't break this small range with data, we very likely will rip in the afternoon, okay? So something that I've tracked over time is if you have tier 1 data, if you have a data day and we don't get a reaction to data and the market has been consolidating for a long time before that, it's basically like a fake out, okay? And this is a huge gamma trade opportunity, okay? How much time do we have? It's 8 o'clock. Okay, I don't want to explain this. So there's a specific setup that I take that I kind of just invented that I call gamma trades. There's nothing special about it other than I guess I can't say there's something special about it. It's a 0 DTE option trade specifically based off of an expectation that the market needs to play out its volatility, right? So, for example, you have a tier 1 data event, the market doesn't move. You can, over time, like after observing that a number of times, you'll see that the market will move. It just reacts to the data later, right? So we'll get this delayed reaction to the catalyst. At the end of the day, we might have a fat candle higher, lower, mean reversion, whatever it is. It's just basically the market owes us something that has not happened yet, which is a reaction to the data. This will give us, if you haven't been, you can check out a tool I made. Everyone in my Discord knows about it. It's called Forrest. Okay, I'll just show it to you. Go to forrestbot.com and you can query for some historical option trades. Okay, I gotta log in, but go to forrestbot.com and sign in and you can query for some stuff. But it's a tool I built to do option research. It's totally free, but I have saved in that tool like some of the largest 0 DTE trades that were possible with like notes, right? I'm talking like thousands and thousands of percents returns on some of these trades. So I'll be looking for one of those today. Might get a nice little 10x trade in the afternoon. We'll see if that doesn't happen. Abhishek, welcome to the party. Okay, so it's a huge gamma trade opportunity. Otherwise, okay, nothing crazy here on the 4. Again, just notating the small range that has formed. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit more. Okay, we're going to stay on the 4 hour. Just going to zoom in on our chart. Get rid of this line. Don't need that line. Okay, so let's add our session VP. And let's look at the relationship of the volume profiles over the last few days here. So Friday VP was here, POC was here, Monday POC was here, Tuesday POC was here. So the point of controls have been pushing higher. Point of control from overnight is higher. So the bias of where participation is in the market has been stacking higher, okay, higher and higher. We're in an uptrend, but it's important to know where the nodes are. If we close a lowercase b-shaped VP, okay, the B shape looks like this, right? If we had closed with bias lower on one of these days, then I might expect some change in structure. But right now, we still have, these VPs stacking higher. We're getting some fast reaction to, or a little bit of increase of volatility right now, interestingly enough. Pine Tree Trader, welcome. Full port. Don't full port, don't do that. Or do it. Don't do it, don't full port. Man, I need to shave. I can feel my mustache on my lip. It's a problem. I look a little crazy right now. I haven't got a haircut in 2 weeks. So we want to look at the relationships of the, I don't know why I'm circling them like this, the points of controls, right? And just notating where bias is in the market, right? Where's liquidity coming in? Remember, this is so important and critical to how I think about the market. I think of the market as every single day there's a story that needs to play out, okay? And there are characters, okay? Where are the characters? All of us are supporting characters in the story of the market, okay? If we use ourselves as examples, we know how we react when price gets super far away from our entry, close to our entry, okay? We can see where people are positioned, and most of us are the same, okay? We like to think we're special. We're really not, okay? Humans are bees. We all get emotional in the exact same ways, and basically the same situations, okay? Unless you've beaten it out of you to not do so otherwise. So where people are positioned is really, really important, because where they're positioned is going to allow us to predict the future and how they're going to react when the market gets close to their positions, right? So in this time frame, we can see there's a node down here, obviously, and there's a node down here, okay? And this is just looking at, again, the visible range, just this data that's on the screen here, okay? So we have VP stacking higher, point of control stacking higher, these two nodes here. Not much else to really notate there. I'm just going to take a photo of this, add it to my notes for a pre-CPI snapshot. Okay, this is just, I just want to see what did the market look like before data here, 8:06 a.m. don't really have any modification to my thesis based off of what I'm seeing here, to be honest. Let's go to the 1 hour, a faster time frame. So we do have our key levels to think about now in play. So let's talk about those and what is on the table. Bro, just let me. Okay, this is what I want. Do you trade on CPI day after news? Nice Darth Maul just now. I don't know what a Darth Maul is. I guess that's maybe a candlestick. Do you trade on CPI day after news? Oh, do I trade like today? Yeah. CPI is like one of the best days to trade, right? Whether it's options or futures. I don't trade into it though. I always look for a trade out of CPI, especially right now. Like the market is like right in the middle of the relative range. Okay, it's something I mention a lot on MFF stream. Okay, let's do two straight lines actually. So if we just look at the charts, just squint your eyes and you're like, all right, where's the most relative high and low? Right? Like we're right in the middle. This is the like objectively worst place to take a trade. Now, if I was doing my low down here and we're looking up here, then it's like, yeah, there's a lot of downside EV if I was short biased for some reason, but I'm not. So I try to just have some simple rules, but I am fading. I like to fade CPI. I like to fade data in general. And by fade, I mean, just to be very clear, by fade, I just mean react to it. I like to see it get to a major liquidity level, right? Either sweep a prior day high, overnight low, prior day low, which is going to be down here, right? One of those key levels, or interact with, like this high is also confluence with this orange line, which is the VP on the higher time frames, the weekly and the daily. That's where I look for trades. The reason I do that, really what CPI allows me to do is I just zoom out. I know it's going to be increased volatility, so instead of looking for a trade here, right, I just should expect a fatter candle. So I'm like, well, we have an unswept low down here, right? So that could be something to go for, or these lows here, right? And then I'll look for a shelf, clean this up a little bit. Here's a low with confluence with the shelf, right? So I'm just looking for a bigger move to react to, but I'm not trading into data for an RTH trade. Never do that. I don't, at least. Some people do. Not me necessarily. So on the 1 hour, let's go ahead and mark up our levels. Okay, so we got overnight low. Okay, prior day high is here. We'll do this one in a separate color. Here, let's just do blue. Okay, whatever this blue is. So prior day high, overnight low. We've got prior day low down here. Those are really the only levels. Overnight high right now is right next to this level. So all three of like overnight high, prior day high, and this shelf are all the same level. Doesn't really matter, so I'll just get rid of that line. The only levels that really matter then for today are going to be overnight low, prior day low, for getting sweeps, and this high. Okay, overnight high is irrelevant, right? It's too close. So those are the only levels I care about to interact with the market. Yesterday, for example, okay, we came down, and you're going to see why this is important. We came down and we swept on the low side. Okay, well, this was really overnight, but we swept this overnight low, swept that overnight low, 3 a.m., and that was the low, right? We swept this previous 3 a.m. auction or overnight auction during yesterday's overnight. That pushed us higher. Okay. Points of control as well are also key levels, right? So yesterday I took a short, right? After settlement open, took a short down to the point of control. Took it on NQ, but took a little short. We came down, retested that liquidity. Okay, very common in trending environments. When the market moves away, we have a nice D-shaped volume profile. Okay, a nice, very even distribution. Okay, this thing is going to get traversed, right? So you just take a short here, right? The market closed away from the point of control, has to come back to it. We still have this strong D shape and all of these, POCs here. So I could see us coming down again. All of these basically turn into this node here. I could see us coming down and playing in that node. Okay, so if I have a bias right now, just for like data, it could be coming down, interacting with that trend line down there. Okay, now I do not like having a lot of lines on my screen, so I've notated these levels so you guys could see them, because I talk about them all the time. I personally don't need them on my chart. Okay, I just want really the levels that I want are when I'm zoomed in on like the hourly time frame, I want the higher time frame stuff visible, right? So this node, this is the edge. I'm inside of a daily node. That's what I want to see here on the hourly. I can just look and see if we're going to sweep overnight high or low, right? Don't need all those levels marked up. The less information that you can make a decision with, the better as well. Okay, this is something just trust me on over time. You will become a better trader. That's why I really only have one indicator and two flavors on my chart. It's literally the only stuff I trade with now. I used to use VWAP. You go look at my videos, right? I used to have way more indicators, VWAP, all these other things, Bollinger Bands. Don't use any of that shit anymore. Okay. Let's go to our plan. Okay, so on the hourly, in the micro, so on the 1 hour, great coach, thank Greg. Greg was one of my students, went through my coaching program. I'll do another one of those eventually. Just a very large time commitment. Overnight, I had a limit order at 21,874 price session, so I'm long right now. Nice. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I could have flipped long in there. I did not take the long. I took the short into it, but longing out of that was a really good trade. It just makes sense. I mean, these overnight liquidity grabs to the naked POC, I'll show you guys what Greg meant there. Okay. So one of the things that we talk about is, this is one of the trade setups, by the way. Okay. A naked POC retest is one of the trade setups that we teach. So we close higher yesterday, and you're thinking, is the market going to just rip higher even though we have CPI tomorrow? Absolutely the fuck not, guys. Okay, it's not going to do that. So what we can say instead is, okay, there's a very obvious target where we know most of the people are positioned. This is really, really key. Most of the people from yesterday are sitting here at supporting control. So if I have to guess where it's going to go before it continues higher, even if it wants to continue higher, it's going to go to where most of the people are. And then that is where the market has the opportunity, more so than anywhere else, to change its tune. So if it was going to bounce, it makes most sense to do it at this price where most of the people would show up. It just makes sense, right? Makes sense when I say it. You got to think it for yourself. And so if it was going to continue higher, that would be the area that it does that. And if you just go and look at a lot of the overnight liquidity grabs, it'll go and touch this. Now, does it always go and just touch it to the penny? No. You have to look at the node itself, right? It'll go and interact with the node. This is a very smooth VP, though. So we got a nice little, coincidentally nice bounce there. So I took this short personally, okay? This is a short I took. Then Greg, said he longed out of it, right? So TP was hit there, and then it went and is doing whatever it's doing now, okay? So you got to see what happens here with data. But on the 1 hour, what I wanted to write here is we tap naked POC overnight and are ranging above it at the moment. So this is important. We tapped it, okay, and we are ranging. We're holding above it, okay, for now. I want to see with data if we stay above it or if it's going to crack these lows and come down and retest this trend line. Remember, we do have, okay, this trend line in play on ES. Okay, this trend line is in play. We could come down. We could even crack a little bit below it to traverse this shelf. Okay, come down, traverse this shelf like I was saying. So that's really it. So let's get into our action plan phase. So here's what I'm looking to do for now. Here's what I'm looking for and how I plan to execute based on what I wrote above. Okay. I want to see if CPI goes for the major liquidity below and then mean reverts higher, closing us with a red day but a higher low, or, okay, hey man, I didn't know you traded live on here. I was in Trade Edge a long time ago. Very cool. What's up, Sam? I just started streaming, so I haven't really taken any trades on stream yet because it's 7:30 in the morning. I mean, I'm flat right now. If I had a trade on, I'd show you guys. So really what I'm doing is for the next 30 days, just doing all my trade planning on YouTube. And then I'll probably just stream. I think what I'm going to do is also just start streaming while I'm on MFF stream. I'll leave the stream on as well. So when I'm not talking there, I can hang out with you guys. We'll see. It's a lot of work. It's complicated. And it's actually really hard to trade and maintain all those views at once, which typically why I don't do this, to be honest. I'm just not built like that. But welcome back. Thanks for showing up, brother. Appreciate you, or sister. Is it me or is his voice really low? Yeah, people are saying my voice is low. Let me see if I can turn myself up a little bit more. Let's see. Is that better? Yes, I just got blasted with an ad. An ad? I didn't even know I had ads on my stream. My bad. Hopefully I'm louder. I'll check the volume, or I might just check, change my microphone later. Anyways, so I want to see if it goes lower, or, okay, we need to go back to the weekly. You don't have to just keep going to lower time frames. Let's reset ourselves. Okay, on the weekly time frame. Again, we're still inside of this node on the weekly. Are we going to get, and we ask ourselves, how much higher can we go, Forrest? Well, let's just look at last week. Last week was 159 points. Okay, so if we did 159 points, okay, it's right around here. And coincidentally, there's a little shelf right here. Okay, so if, and this isn't all likely going to happen today, but we could crack higher and start to move towards having a candle, right, that goes right up and traverses to the edge of the Fulks sitting right here, okay? So this would be my weekly target higher if CPI shows its hand for higher, okay? Wrote a lot there. Weekly target higher if CPI shows its hand for higher, okay? Now, I'll leave that on just for now, just for you guys, right? And we'll put that, I'm just gonna put that, instead of writing all that out, I'm just gonna put the image there, okay? I wanna show you guys, there are no rules with how you take notes, okay? I use text, I use images. The point is, okay, if we go back to my calendar here and we look at, you know, yesterday or any day before, it should just be useful. I should be able to look back, see what I thought. I should be able to look at my P&L and see according to my plan, oh, did I at least trade my plan? That's the first question I should ask myself. Did I at least trade my plan? Okay, if you look at your trade log and you're like, what the heck? Like, it's not even close to what I was saying. And if I would have did what I said, I would have made money. That's a problem. You can add other things here. I didn't add, Notion is very powerful, right? I didn't add like P&L and all that into Notion. You can do that. You can, I use TradeZella for all my P&L tracking. Okay, I use the tools very differently. TradeZella just imports my data. I want to see my stats around time of day, stuff like that. I look at it way more sparingly now than I used to be honest, because I know where my rough edges are, right? Part of the reason I trade the 4-hour primarily is because of what TradeZilla told me around hold times and things like that. Still a useful tool. I use Notion because I think the tedium is good for making me a better trader, actually planning. So this process, this hands-on process is important. You can build in though. Notion is pretty free. I think I pay for premium. You can add in a bunch of stuff, right? I just added in tags. And what's cool about adding in the tags is that you can come here and you can search and sort by different tags, right? So eventually, you'll have a nice big database of data. How can I get rid of this? If I go to the table view, okay, I can sort this by the tag, right? So if I want to sort it by, what the hell? I'll actually choose a value here. Whatever, I'll do that later. You can sort it by stuff, okay? That's the point. Go figure that out for yourself. Cool. The other thing that's important here, we've got 7 minutes before we hop off, is if I take a trade, right, we have this template. So in this template, I have 2 trades. So we have the mean reversion trade and the prior POC retest trade. So I took a prior POC retest trade. I'm just going to log that now. So let's go over to NQ. Okay, the trade that I took, let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, and we're just going to notate here. I shorted, okay, from here to here. I did the example on ES, but I took the trade on NQ. Okay, so that's the trade that I took. Let's copy this image. So we're going to say a prior POC retest trade. Okay, now I've included both of these in here just to show you kind of my thoughts on this. Prior day level swept. So what did we sweep? We swept the prior day high. Okay, what time frame did I take this on? I took it on the 1 hour. Did I have a signal candle? This is important. So when I took this trade, okay, I actually did not have a signal candle. Okay, so I'm just going to notate that. I took this without a signal candle. Okay, just using a D-shaped volume profile. Volume of the signal candle, there was none. If I looked in here, I mean, there was this 1 hour doji, red doji here, which 100% was a signal candle. I was in before that, just to be honest, guys. So I was in like right around here, went to a little bit of drawdown, and then I wasn't worried about that drawdown at all. I didn't even have a stop on this trade. That's how confident I was in it. Okay, I very often trade without stops. But on the 1 hour, you could say that there was a small body doji here, but there was a small body doji on the 1 hour higher volume. So there was a signal candle. I took it without it. That's bad, by the way, right? It's not ideal. It's not what I teach people. Okay, you want to take signal candles. It's just slightly higher volume on the signal candle, and the time of the day was, I guess technically pre-market, but I want to modify this to say post-settlement. Say settlement open. Okay, that's where we're going to put it there. That is misspelled. And uptrending market, pre-CPI play. Okay, so that's marked. And for the tag, I'll just put CPI, and maybe I'll just do naked POC. Okay, so over time, as you start to take and you have tens or hundreds of trades, okay, all of this will be notated. So this trade I took, the date for this was, I forgot to put a date on that, so let's go to my table and add it. Naked POC retest trade. The date that I took this was technically today. Okay. If I go to my calendar view, it's right in there. Okay. So I've got my daily plan. Boom. I've logged my trade. Shaboom. We're good to go. Did I actually finish my daily plan? Or let's write some text here. Look for CPI to show we are going for this weekly target higher target is based off simply measuring last week's move and aligning with the weekly VP. Okay. So then after, and this is something I haven't done because I haven't really had time on here yet. I do have to jump to my morning huddle for my company here. For anybody who doesn't know, I am the partner, co-owner of a business here in Miami, where a lot of your favorite day traders, literally all of them, everybody films at my studio, guys. Okay, name a trader. We've had literally everybody films at my studio, guys. Met all of them. I'm not even gonna mention them, but I own that business, so I'm gonna go and do a morning huddle for that in 3 minutes. Thanks, Foster. Good stuff. Data in 3. You're welcome, QQQ Trader. That is it, folks. That's going to be a wrap for this morning session. CPI is in 3 minutes. I'm going to stay on, actually, just to see where this candle goes. I'll hop on my meeting like a minute late here. See what goes on. Again, if you want to get the template, the Notion template, it is just, I think the link is in the description. Let's put it in the chat here. It's just http stan.store/trading with Forrest. Okay, there's a link there. You'll get on my email list as well. I'll send you some good stuff later. Join Trade Edge. Join our community. One of our admins is here, Dallin. Cool guy. I have a partner in the Discord named Sol. He's another VPE trader. Everybody in our Discord is a VPE trader, by the way. It's the only system we use. We're real traders, okay? So if you want to find a community of people who are really, really focused on, trading for real, come check us out. We're quite boring, so that's how you know we know our stuff. But come check us out. Yeah, let's see what happens here in about 52 seconds. Let's see. And we're going to actually zoom out. So one of the easiest ways to save yourself from losing context is just zooming out when data is about to happen. So let's see if we come for this node lower. We'll do ES and NQ. Boom, there we go. Best marketing for traders. We are boring. I mean, the number one feedback I get from people is just like, either we're not talking enough or like, but I only talk when I have something to say, but I get it. I think it's, everybody always wants, a trade to be on or something. So we push higher. Let me zoom out here a little bit. We want some context in this candle. Nice push higher. So what I want to see here is, remember, on ES, I said if we push higher, we need to look for confluence with some of these highs. So these are daily highs over here. Okay, this is a high from the 26th, okay, that we just came up to. Also the edge of a shelf right there. Let's see if it keeps pushing here. Let me message my team that I'm going to be a little late here. Be on. Let's see what we do here. So let's see if we sweep this high. Put this on the screen for you guys. Okay. See this right here? This high. Look right where this candle went, this high. So let's see. We swept this little high. I want to see if we sweep this high before it comes down. Right? We still have, it's been about a minute. Gotta turn this up. Add our session VP here. So we got to ask ourselves when we have a data candle like this, Where are we building volume? So we will go down to the 15-minute. 200 points for Greg. Good job. There you go. Are we building volume up here? If we don't build volume up here, we are very likely going to come back to the point of control. Okay. So how can we tell if we're building volume? Look at the volume profile. We should see a node start to form up here. If we don't get a node up here, it's very thin, right? It is going to mean revert. Doesn't mean just short right now, okay? But that's what I'm looking for. All right, nothing too interesting going on here. So yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. I'm gonna run this meeting, guys. Don't get chopped up. Don't lose money on these data days as well. It's just CPI days and PPI days. There are increased volatility throughout the day. You don't have to trade the data candle itself. Okay, I want to make that very, very clear. The day is going to offer opportunity. Okay, we just got an expanded range. So when we talk about the high and the low of the day, we now have a much higher low or a much higher high of the day to play around with. Okay, that's the important thing with this increased volatility. You don't have to necessarily just play the data candle, but that's all I got. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope all of you guys plan every single day. Make yourself as prepared as you can be for success. Join the MFF stream. Join the Trade Edge Discord. We live stream in there every other day. Sol does. And yeah, I will see you folks tomorrow or later today, actually. Not tomorrow. I'll be streaming here in 30 more minutes. All right, deuces.